David Fetterman again, reading passages from Empowerment Evaluation and Social Justice, Confronting the Culture of Silence, my new book. Once again, thanks for inviting me to read a few passages. I enjoy it. It's fun. This is still from the introductory chapters. Empowerment Evaluation in Turmoil, the debates. I lived through this. Where else except in this extended family of evaluators can you expect both an attack and an embrace in the same breath? The American Evaluation Association is a place where evaluators can be vulnerable, open themselves up for critique, and learn from the experience. The magnitude of the upheaval that followed, however, was unanticipated when I first invited people to learn about empowerment evaluation. The empowerment evaluation approach was met with excitement, applause, and hope. However, it was also met with disdain and fear, and more than a little microaggression. It made many evaluators rethink what evaluation was and what it meant to be an evaluator. Basically, it put the association and our colleagues to the test. We were giving evaluation away or building evaluation capacity to help people conduct their own evaluations. Were we the external experts or the coaches and critical friends? Introducing empowerment evaluation to the field touched a nerve among many traditional evaluators, resulting in highly charged exchanges in the journals. Some called it a movement because of the rapid pace and global adoption of the approach. Some were worried that empowerment evaluation might violate the standards, as if there was only one way to do or conduct an evaluation. They also thought maybe it wasn't going to be objective or explicitly stated that it's not where we should go in the future. Some of the arguments in the journals reached a feverish pitch. A few were so pointed and personal that one of the editors had to assert civility standards and take a stand against ad hominem remarks towards me. Not towards the approach, but me personally. The empowerment evaluation camp responded to each of the issues raised, typically in a point-counterpoint manner in the journals. We also were aware of the larger implicit issues at play. We explicitly raised the issue of positions of privilege. Let me just read a little bit about that. This is a quotation from one of the journal articles. Empowerment evaluation is grounded in my work with the most marginalized and disenfranchised populations, ranging from urban schools to community health programs in South African townships. They have educated me about what it means and what is possible to communities that are overwhelmed by violence, poverty, disease, and neglect. They have also repeatedly sensitized me to the power of powers associated with positions of privilege. One dominant group has the vision, makes and changes the rules, enforces the standards, and need never question its own position or seriously consider any other. In such a view, differences become deficits rather than additive elements of culture. People in positions of privilege dismiss the contributions of a multicultural world. They create rational policies and procedures that systematically deny full participation in the community to people who think and behave differently. Evaluators cannot afford to be unreflective about the culturally embedded nature of our profession. There are many tacit prejudgments and omissions embedded in our primarily Western thought and behavior. These values, often assumed to be superior, are considered natural. However, Western philosophies have privileged their own traditions and have used them to judge others who may not share them, disparaging such factors as ethnicity and gender. In addition, they systematically exclude other ways of knowing. I wrote that back in 1995. Anyway, Wilde's comments about that period of time were right on the mark. They captured the tone of the times when empowerment evaluation was first introduced. He wrote, "This is a significant addition to the library of evaluation, and the writers should be congratulated for bringing together such a solid collection. Fetterman et al. Have nailed their thesis to the door of the cathedral. Now the question is, how tolerant is the establishment of dissent?" It was pretty wild times. Just one of the many passages in this book. They sort of bring it alive, because I do talk about the history of empowerment evaluation, as well as jumping to the present, where we're trying to eliminate tuberculosis in India. We're working with food banks throughout the United States from a racial equity lens. I'll read more in other passages. Thanks again for listening. Take care.